morning, students. In today's class, we'll be studying about intelligence tasks, agent, and environment. What are the various intelligence tasks? What is agent and what is environment? So, for this particular course is concerned, as a prerequisite, you are supposed to have a strong foundation on discrete mathematics and machine learning. So, for the objective of this course is concerned, it will provide you a strong foundation of fundamental concept in artificial intelligence. It will provide a basic exposition to the goals and methods of artificial intelligence. It will enable you to apply techniques in applications which involve perception, reasoning, and learning. It will allow you to distinguish between conventional system and an intelligent system. It will also allow you to apply artificial intelligence technique in solving problems of a particular domain. So for today's lecture objective is concerned, you will learn about artificial intelligence domain, task classification of AI, agent and environment, what is agent and what is environment is all about, structure of intelligent. Now, artificial intelligence domain comprises of multiple domains. The domain of artificial intelligence is used both in terms of breadth and width, but some of the broadly common and prospering research areas in this domain are expert system, neural networks, robotics, fuzzy logic, and natural language. Now, the various task classification under AI are these are formal tasks, mundane tasks, and expert tasks. A mundane task, these are considered as ordinary tasks. There comes under the task that this comes under this category of perception, vision, speech, and voice. Natural language processing, unlike it consider understanding, language generation, language translation, common sense, reasoning, planning, robotics, locomotive comes under this category. Now, the formal task is a mathematics, geometry, logic, integration, and differentiation, games like Go, chess, checkers, verification, and theorem proving. And the expert task is engineering, fault finding, manufacturing, monitoring, scientific tasks, financial analysis, medical diagnosis and creativity. And what is intelligence is composed of? Human learn mundane tasks since their birth. They learn by perception, speaking, using language, and locomotive. They learn formal tasks and expert tasks later in that order. For human, the mundane tasks are easiest to learn. The same was considered true before trying to implement mundane tasks in machine. Earlier, all works of AI was concentrated in the mundane task domain only. Later, it turned out that the machine requires more knowledge, complex knowledge representation, and complicated algorithm for handling mundane tasks. This is the reason why AI work is more prospering in the expert task domain now, as the expert task domain needs expert knowledge without common sense, which can be easier to represent and handle. All AI system is composed of an agent and its environment. The agent acts in their environment, and the environment may contain other agents. Like the example here, the example is demonstrating this concept as environment, and this I think I've got object. You can consider it as AI object, and which is percepting through sensor, and it is performing action on the environment only through effective. And as it is anything that can perceive its environment through sensor. Perceiving through sensor. So percept is coming from environment to sensor. Acts upon the environment. It is acting upon the environment through effectors. Now in case of as a human agent, the sensory organs, the senses are nothing but your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skill parallel to the senses, whereas in case of a human, the effectors are nothing but hands, leg, mouth, etc., which performs action through this. In case of robotic agent replaces cameras and infrared range finders for the senses and various motors and actuators for effectors. A software agent has encoded bit string as its action programs and action. Now, some other agent terminology like performance measure of agent, nothing but the criteria which determines how successful an agent is in its task when performing. Behavior of an agent, it is the action that agent performs for any given sequence of percept. It will be considered to be the behavior of the agent. The percept, it is the agent's perceptual inputs at a given instance, what the agent has considered, what agent has taken as an input. Now, percept sequence, it is the history of all that an agent has perceived till date. So, sequence of perception. Agent function, it is the map from the percept sequence to an action. So, mapping between percept sequence, what it has taken as an input, and what action it has taken based on that input. This kind of if then. The structure of an intelligent agent, the problem the agent solves is characterized by performance measure, environment, actuator, and sensor. Thus, the structure of an intelligent agent can be considered as architecture plus agent program. An agent program is the machinery that an agent executes on. An agent program and implementation of an agent function. Now, there are different kinds of agent that has been demonstrated. This is one of the agent, of course. So we'll be discussing multiple agents. So this agent is considered a simple reflex agent. Where environment we have got the agent and we have got sensor also. We have got effector. They choose action only based on the current percept, what percept it has taken as an input correctly. Like that has been demonstrated. How is the wall like now? What action I need to do based on the current input, which is taken as a perception. They are rational only if the current decision is made only on the basis of the current input. But if it has to take the previous input, then it will not be this particular agent will not be able to. Their environment is completely observable. So here the condition action rule, it is nothing but the mapping of state to an action. But currently, what in which state the agent is, and then current input. The next one is model-based agent. Here, they use model of the wall to choose direction. They're going to have a model of the wall, the abstract model. They maintain different internal state under which state and the different state the machine is the different state is the output of different action. The model is a knowledge about how the things happens in the world. So the agent will be initially in one particular state as has been shown in the diagram. So it will be state in the initial state. Now the internal state, which is the representation of unobserved aspect of the current state depending on the perceptory history. Now, updating the state requires information about how the world evolves, like under different situation, how the machine has gone to different state, how the agent action affect the world. The next is goal-based agent. They choose direction in order to achieve goal. Goal-based approach is more flexible than reflex agent. Since the knowledge supporting decision is explicitly modeled here, thereby allowing for modification. As you can see, the agent is going to give a different internal state, but the decision here will be the final state will be based on the different situation, the desirable situation that is available in terms of your goal, description of desirable goal. Now, another is a utility-based agent. Here, they choose action based on a preference utility, which is also considered as payoff. Okay? It's stated where the machine will go, that will be determined by what kind of payoff it is going to get in terms of utility. So depending on the application to application, that utility concept will be different. The goals are inadequate when there are conflicting goals, out of which only few can be achieved. Goals have some uncertainty of being achieved, and you need to weigh weigh likelihood of success against the importance of a goal. So thus in today's class, we have studied about artificial intelligence domain, the task classification of AI, what are the various tasks that has been classified under AI, what is agent, what is environment, what is sensor, what is sensor, what is actuators, what is action, and structure of intelligence. So for the references are concerned, these are the references that have been followed. Have any query, you can put your queries in there. Thank you.